From the campaign trail to Capitol Hill, buckle up because the Hill is rewinding the politics, events, and power players that have shaped our national headlines.
What's your message to Americans who didn't vote for you?
Everybody should come together, and I think success brings us together. We're going to have a tremendous success. We had 33.1% up in growth, GDP, and nobody's ever seen a number like that. The last time the number was less than half, and I think that was in 1952. So we doubled up the number, more than doubled up the number. I think we're set for tremendous success, and success is going to bring unity. And it was bringing it before, and then we got hit with the China virus, and that certainly had to go back, and I think we've done an incredible job with respect to that, other than public relations, because, and I'm not sure that it's possible to convince you of it, because, you know, you people were not really convincible no matter what we did, but we've done an incredible job, not only in handling it. Don't forget, we were expecting, and people were projecting 2.2 million people. We closed up the greatest economy in the history of the world for any country, not just for our country. And we are now opening it up. We saved more than 2 million lives and did an incredible job with therapies and therapeutics and with, I think, maybe cures, because frankly, some of this stuff is so good. But if you look at the ventilator situation, we had a ventilator problem. And now with all the work that everybody's done, including Jared, people coming in from Silicon Valley, and now we're sending the ventilators all over, all over the world now, all over the world. We're producing them for other countries. But it's been an incredible period of time. And I think that if you look at, and I say it proudly, we are rounding the corner, but the vaccines are coming out very soon. They're having tremendous success. Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, Pfizer, and we're going to have we're going to have a very special year. Next year, I think, is going to be more successful than it was last year. We had the best year we've ever had last year, and I think we're going to be right in that category for next year. So that's very successful.
Mr. President, have you read an acceptance speech and a concession speech?
No, I'm not thinking about concession speech or acceptance speech yet. Hopefully, we'll be only doing one of those two. And you know, winning is easy. Losing is never easy. Not for me, it's not. But I think we have, when you see rallies, the likes of which in the history of this country, probably in the history of the world, nobody's ever seen before. There's a tremendous love going on in this country. And there's really a tremendous unity. There's a tremendous unity. Nobody's ever seen that, where you take an airport and the airport's not big enough to hold the crowds. Nobody's ever seen a thing like that. And our opposition, as you know, would have a few people sitting in circles, and that's okay. That's not abnormal. That's not abnormal, actually. That's the way it is. But we would get crowds of 50,000 people, 45,000 people, more. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. So it was an honor. They're great people. These are people that they appreciate what we did, and they also remember before I got there and before we all got there. This group has been with me. A lot of them are very young, but they've been with me, many of them, for a long time, right? A long time. And I really came here to thank you all, and then I'm going to say, and get immediately back to work. I won $1,000 a test. And Biden's people say, okay, you've got it. Please get it out fast. We're getting our asses kicked here. We gave Joe Biden every tool he could want, yet he still completely failed. The virus evolved, and his strategy failed to evolve, and it just didn't evolve with the virus. He's incapable of keeping up. They're incapable. They're incompetent, actually, aren't they, when you think about it? We're now on the 6th variant. I wonder which one next is coming down of the original virus. And it's by far the most transmissible, and thankfully it's also the least dangerous and the least deadly.
And we have to get back our lives. We have to bring our country back. We have to bring our lives back. But instead of letting us resume, and that's what we want to do, our normal lives, Biden's trying to bully and intimidate people with his see how angry he gets? Anger! You've got to listen to me. Listen, where am I? Oh, where the hell am I? Where am I? Oh, I'm not supposed to be doing this. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace. What? Oh, veteran. Hello, veteran. Look at that. He's a handsome-looking veteran. We love our veterans, don't we? Wow. We love our veterans. That's very good. Well, we're going to be introducing some of them. Thank you. Good-looking veteran you are. Boy, oh boy, I thought somebody was like in trouble or something. That's great. Thank you very much. But Biden's trying to bully and intimidate people with his ridiculous, unscientific mandates because he and his entire administration have absolutely no idea what the hell is happening. Of the Washington establishment, it's because I was elected to fight for you harder than any president has ever fought for their constituents before. To show you how corrupt the Washington media is, I was just, and did you see this? This was just revealed. It was just revealed that, Anonymous, this Anonymous that everybody's been looking for, that law enforcement could have found early if they wanted to, but everybody was looking for Anonymous. Turned out to be a low-level staffer, a sleazebag, who's never worked in the White House. Anonymous was a nobody, a disgruntled employee who was quickly removed from his job a long time ago for, they tell me, incompetence. I don't know what for, but they tell me incompetence. You know where he works now? He works at CNN. Can you believe it? Works at CNN. He wrote a phony book. Was just basically, if you heard about Anonymous, it was like somebody that was right next to me. I thought it might have been Hope Hicks, who's right. I thought it might have been Jared. I thought it might have been Mike Lee. I was worried, from the great state of Utah. I was extremely worried about Rand Paul. Maybe it was Rand. This guy's a low-level lowlife that I don't know. I have no idea who he is, other than I got to see him a little while ago on television. And I think they threw him out a long time ago. His phony book was just based on fake articles and left-wing outlets. He worked with listen to this, the fake news New York Times, right? And he's an employee of Google. He works for Google. Isn't that nice? Google. The people that you guys are looking at right now. The whole thing was just one more giant hoax from the Washington swamp and a corrupt special interest group. I'll tell you what, this guy, in my opinion, he should be prosecuted. He should be prosecuted. The left-wing media and the swamp are doing everything in their power to try and stop us. And by the way, we're here and they're not. And their heads are exploding. Their heads are exploding. The media has been peddling their lies for the last 4 years. And they've had a lot to say. But in the meantime, here we are, and we're going to win the greatest election. And you know what? This election is more important than any election in the history of our country, including the last one, and I never thought I'd say that. But you get the last word on November 3rd. You can ensure that when the results pour in, the corrupt media, they're going to have, are you guys ready for this? Look at all of them. Look at all of those corrupt people. Blame Barr. I don't blame a lot of people, but they become weak and they become ineffective and they become frightened. Like it or not, we are becoming a communist country. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. We are beyond socialism. You know, when you have no press that you can talk to, that's how a communist country begins. They have no press. We find things in Arizona, and other than a couple of great networks, we have no press. We have no voice. I only have voice because I get great ratings. You know, ultimately, ratings are very important. But even those lights, well, they still have those lights going. That's good. I'm very impressed. That's good. Thank you. And if the Democrats get some of the things they currently want passed, including the Election of Corrupt Politicians Act, and infrastructure, which isn't infrastructure, it will get even worse. What they're asking for is incredible. The Green New Deal, going to destroy our country, this Green New Deal. In the face of great challenges this year, Americans showed incredible grit, strength, tenacity, and resolve. And together we achieved truly historic victories like nobody ever thought possible. To defeat the China virus, we launched the largest mobilization since World War II. We transformed our factories to build tens of thousands of ventilators and millions of masks virtually overnight. Nobody thought it could be done. We ignored the experts who demanded open borders, and we shut down travel from China and Europe to protect our citizens, and we built the wall. We pioneered groundbreaking new therapies and treatments, and we saved millions of American lives. Over and over again, we were told it would be impossible to deliver a vaccine by the end of the year. All of the experts said, absolutely unthinkable. Trump is exaggerating. It can't happen. And we did it long before the end of the year. They said it would take a medical miracle, and that's exactly what it is. Years from now, they'll be talking about it. They'll be talking about this great thing that we did with the vaccines. A truly unprecedented, amazing medical miracle. Normally, developing a vaccine takes up to 10 years. Thanks to Operation Warp Speed, we developed a vaccine in just 9 months. We've already begun a nationwide vaccination program, and we're sending the vaccine all over the world. The world will benefit, we'll benefit, and everybody's calling to thank me. Our most vulnerable citizens are already receiving the vaccine, and millions of doses are quickly being shipped all across our country. By early next year, the vaccine will be available to every American, and shortly thereafter, it will be delivered worldwide. We will end the pandemic once and for all. This is one of the most extraordinary scientific, industrial, and medical feats in history. Everybody has it as that. That's what they're marketed down as. And we can never let people forget where it came from and how it came. We're very proud to be honored, and all of the people that worked so hard on it, we have to be remembered for what's been done. I want to thank all of the workers, scientists, doctors, and members of the military who helped make Operation Warp Speed possible. Before the pandemic, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. Now we are doing it again. We've actually built, if you think about it, 2 great economies, before and after. We passed $3 trillion in relief, the largest financial aid package in history. Through the Paycheck Protection Program, we saved or supported more than 51 million American jobs, and we're doing numbers now like nobody's ever seen before, including having the highest stock market in the history of the world. I froze student loan payments, stopped evictions, suspended payroll taxes. We have slashed the unemployment rate from 14.7% all the way down to 6.7%, and a lot of people thought that the 14.7 could be 32 or 40 or 45%, and now we're down to 6.7 and heading a lot lower. We made it dramatically better than experts predicted just a few months ago. Our economy is growing at the most rapid rate ever recorded, 33.4% last quarter, and much faster than the nations of Europe. Nobody can compete with us in terms of going down less and going up by far the fastest and the best. Whenever America is challenged, we always rise to the occasion. We are bringing critical medical manufacturing back home to America. We have secured our borders and paused immigration to protect American workers. We lowered drug prices for the first time in 51 years. And after years of endless foreign wars, we are signing historic peace deals in the Middle East. It's all ending in the Middle East. We have to hope it keeps going. It's so easy if you know what you're doing. In this season of joy, Americans have so much to be grateful for. We're all blessed to live in the greatest country ever to exist on the face of the earth, and we have made it greater than ever before. As long as we remain loyal to our nation, devoted to our citizens, and faithful to Almighty God, we know that the best is yet to come. God bless you, and God bless America. Smart people. The stock market is at almost an all-time high. We're just short of it, and NASDAQ is higher than it ever was. It's broken the record 14 times in the last couple of months. So 401ks are doing fantastically. I hope you kept your stocks. I hope you didn't sell. I hope you had confidence in your president and confidence that your president was going to be reelected. And I will tell you this, that the biggest tailwind, the biggest problem that we have with respect to the stock market, which is not much of a problem because it's doing so well, but it would be actually much higher, is the possibility that these radical left Democrats could win. And if they win, we're going to have a crash. We're going to have a terrible problem because they're going to raise taxes, $3 trillion worth of taxes. And that's going to affect everybody from middle income to upper income to jobs to companies. Your 401ks will go down like a rock. Your stocks will go down like a rock. You know, and don't forget, these big companies, you have stocks in these companies. You know, you own stocks. And they have millions and millions of shareholders. And whether it's pension funds or anybody else, you all have stocks. So they're big companies, but a lot of people own that stock, and we want to keep it going. But we do have, I guess you could say, not a tailwind, it's a headwind, I guess would be a better description, but it is, it's a headwind. And when you think of it, that's, in my opinion, it would be much higher. But you look at what they want to do. They want to raise everybody's taxes, everybody. And they want to do the Green New Deal, which will decimate our country and decimate, it's ridiculous too, it's childish. I actually say the Green New Deal is childish. It's for children, it's not for adults. Anybody that believes in that is, I don't know, maybe it's politics. I don't even think it's good politics. They seem to think, so we'll see how they do.
Former President Donald Trump says that the tax increases that are in the corporate tax increases that are in the plan will shift more companies and jobs overseas, and that China will be the big winner there. It also depends on getting countries to stop a race to the bottom on corporate taxes, and we're just wondering, how do you get those other countries to go along with that idea of, you know, not racing to the bottom on corporate taxes?
Well, we have a little chart. Maybe we can pull up on the screen here. Hopefully, we'll cue it to come up just to show. Was it up before? Well, we'll bring it up again because it's a relevant one for people to take a look at. That just shows the journey of corporate tax rates over the course of the last several decades. The fact is, the corporate tax rate at 21% is lower than it has ever been in the past. What we're talking about is raising it to 28%, which is lower than it's been in the past several decades for most of that period of time. And it goes back to a rate that was the case during part of the Bush administration. See, as you can see here. Now, during the 60s, it was up over 50%. Obviously, that's incredibly high. And it's gone down progressively. And it was in the mid-30s, as you can see, through about 2015 or right before then. And then it went dramatically down. What we're talking about is just raising it to a rate that is lower than it has been through the vast majority of time over the last 70 years. And we think that's an incredibly reasonable proposal. I will say that in the wake of the 2017 tax giveaway to corporate America, I should say, 91 of the Fortune 500 companies paid no federal taxes. Zero federal taxes. That is not something that the American people believe is fair, that we believe is fair. And what we're talking about here is making adjustments to the tax code to make it more fair, to invest in our infrastructure, invest in American workers, so that we can be more competitive over the long term.
And then lastly, today in Kentucky, earlier today in Kentucky, Senator McConnell was talking and said that the package, quote, is not going to get support from our side. He opposes the undoing of the 2017 tax cuts and said that, quote, I'm going to fight them every step of the way. So have you respond?
I think there's some more questions to be asked. Does he disagree that our nation's infrastructure is outdated and needs repair? Does he disagree that we need to do more to put American workers back to work and to invest in industries that have growth potential over the long term? Does he disagree that 1/3 of the country who doesn't have broadband access should have access to broadband? There are a lot of areas where there is agreement with across the political spectrum, from investment in infrastructure, doing more to be competitive with China, and what we're really talking about here is how to pay for it. And so what we're looking for is proposals of alternatives. If you don't want to raise the corporate tax rate, still lower than it's been over the last 70 years and across decades, if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to put in place a global minimum tax, what are the alternatives? We're happy to hear those proposals.
No, I met a general. His name was General Kane. I don't even know. Maybe he's not even on my side. Who the hell knows with these generals? You know, when I get through with this guy, Milley, I mean, how about Milley? Remember? Remember when I walked to the church, proudly walked to the church, that the protesters, they tried to burn it down, but I walked to the church, protesters out there, and Milley was walking with me. And the next day, the radical left media starts calling, you shouldn't have walked, you shouldn't have walked. Instead of saying, I'm proud to walk with my president, not because it's me, because of the office. Instead of saying that, he wanted to apologize for walking with the president of the United States. And I said, this guy doesn't have what it takes. And you're seeing that now, because the worst decisions I've ever seen. That's, again, why I put the patent. I just remembered it as I was coming over here. I said, get that clip quickly. The people of Alabama understand that clip. Do you think that... Let me ask you, do you think that General Patton was woke? I don't think so. What do you think, Mike? Mike, was he woke? I don't think so. I don't think he was too woke. He was the exact opposite. You know what woke means? It means you're a loser. Everything woke. Everything woke. It's true. Everything woke turns to shit, okay? It's true. It's true. Look at what's happening.